Hey, it's Dan, and welcome to Unified Gaming. So in this one, we're going to play Trash or Grab with the Golden, and also check the Infinite Archive. The Golden is a vendor that comes to Cyrodiil every weekend, and this video is recorded on the 13th of April 2024, so if you do check in a few weeks, then things may be different, okay? As for the Golden, where do you find her? The Golden can be found in the home bases on the Cyrodiil campaign. Any campaign works. If you play as a blue, it's in Northern High Rock. If you play as a yellow, it's in Western Elsewhere Gate. And if you play as the reds, it is in Southern Morrowind Gate. The Golden looks like this. She obviously is glowing golden. She will appear here from the Friday onwards, and she goes Monday. As with my videos, if you like what I do here, like, comment, share and subscribe. It really helps. And as always, a massive thank you to everyone at Patreon who helped make the videos possible. You get early access, exclusive content and much more. There's details down below. Now as for the Golden, what is she selling this week? The Golden lets you have two forms of currency, gold and alliance points, and this week she's selling Symphony of Blades. This is a monster set. This monster set can be a bit awkward to get, so it's quite an easy one to pick up if you don't have access to ESO Plus and stuff, so do consider it for that reason alone. When you heal a group member who is under 50% of their primary resource, they get Meridia's Favour, which gives them 550 magical or stamina every second for 6 seconds. It has an 18-second cooldown, so a long cooldown, but this is very good. If you are playing as a healer in PvP, this could be quite a nice healer monster set, just to give sustain to groups, especially in ball groups. Is it the best? No, but it is probably worth picking up, especially if you play PvE and you heal in PvE. So for that reason alone, I'd recommend getting this item. You can buy it in light, medium or heavy, and if you buy the alliance points, you do get impen. If you buy the gold, you get infused. The second monster set is Thothraki. Now this set is more of a PvP set, and it used to be really good, but it's not that great anymore. When you take damage, you form from a nearby enemy, you summon a growing pool of a desiccated bile for 8 seconds. Enemies in the bile takes 339 damage, and they get afflicted with minor maim, and that reduces their healing and health recovery. It's not the best, in all honesty. The minor defile isn't great. Yes, you do get disease and it's minor defile, you get maim, so you reduce people's damage to you, you reduce their healing. It's not great though. So for me personally, you're better running something like Master Lock if you're going to go as a dot build, or you're better going like Bloodspawn if you're going to go more defensive orientated. And that would also give you some ult gen, which can then turn into extra damage essentially. So this isn't a great set in all honesty. That said, if you want to have a bit of fun, it's quite a fun set to use, and the dungeon can be a bit awkward. So, you know, if you've got the gold spare, I'd probably suggest just getting it just because the dungeon's a bit awkward and it will fill up this sticker book. As for the jewellery, we've got some good ones today. You've got Plague Slinger, which is actually quite a fun set to use. So the 2, 3, 4 pieces, damage, health and damage again. And then when you take damage, you summon a Skeever Corpse, which will launch 5 poison balls over 5 seconds that each do 4.3k, and it will target the nearest enemy. If you think of Shadow of Red Mountain, it's basically that. This item, it is a bind on pickup, so you can't trade it sadly, and you can pay for gold or you can pay for it with AP. For me personally, if you want to play more of a trolley defensive build, this can be quite good. This can also be good in Cyrodiil if you are kiting, and you know, you can obviously use this to damage people as you sort of move around. It's not the best in all honesty, but it is pretty fun. So I would say get this because it's gold. The jewelry is quite hard to get normally, so it's probably worth picking up. You then have Bahara's Curse. This is health, magicka, and stamina, and you get a 40% reduction on environmental traps. This is okay. And then the 5th piece, when you deal damage, you have a 25% chance to create desiccated ground for 5 seconds. It reduces the movement speed of enemies by 60% and does damage to them and heals you. This can have this effect can occur once every 5 seconds, so it basically has kind of like an 100% uptime if you can get really good procs. So if you're getting hit by lots of things, this will just be always up. This is like a poor man's Leech and Plate. Leech and Plate is better in all honesty, but this does snare them. So for PvE, it's not a terrible set. It's not the best in all honesty. There are better sets. For PvP, it's hit and miss. I wouldn't get this personally. If you want to just have a fun set just to try it, it's worth a try. You can buy this, you can sell it, you can trade it. So if you want, you could probably buy this cheaper in a trader in all honesty, and wait a week or two and get it for like 70-80k. You then have Smuggler's Ring. This is a bind on equip set, so again this can be traded. It is Magica recovery, weapon and spell damage, and then when you drink a potion you get Major Expedition for 30 seconds, which increases your speed. This is awful. Like, this is absolutely awful. Major Expedition can be accessed quite easily with Race Against Time, and yes, you get a long duration of the buff, but the issue is that this you have to use a potion, and there's way better 5 pieces, so I would not get this. The last one is also a dungeon set again. This is bind on pickup. It's Magica, weapon and spell damage and penetration. When you deal shock damage, you have a 15% chance to deal 2.3k shock damage to the enemy and up to 2 other enemies within 5 meters. It's a bit like Aurea's Thunder. So when people hit you, it will just damage them if they're nearby to you. This can be okay on a Templar. The issue is though that you have to do shock damage. So although you're in that melee range, you're not going to proc this often. And that's where this really falls short. It's a really hard proc to do because there's not many shock skills, and the range that you need to be is also quite hit and miss. So for me personally, there are better proc sets that do a lot more damage. I would say avoid this. It just doesn't offer enough for what you need. And the class that you would expect to use it on a sorcerer, you're using that at range anyway with crystal frags and stuff. Or if you're a Stamsork, you're using Dizzying Swing or Master's Dual Wield. And you're not really using the shock morph, you're using Hurricane at that point. So the golden jewelry is pretty meh this week, apart from Plague Slinger. That's pretty fun. This one can be a fun set to just try, and it's a dungeon set, so if you want to grab it to give it a go, by all means. But yeah, that's kind of my sort of analysis of the golden this week. Essentially, I would get Symphony of Blades. It is worth buying. So I'm going to go and buy this. This is definitely worth getting. Because Throvikin can be a bit annoying to get, I'm going to buy each one of these. It's not the best, but I want to fill up my sticker book. That's the only reason I'm getting these. And then I'm going to go and get some Plague Slinger. I'm going to buy 2 of these because it's quite a fun set. The rest of it, I wouldn't really recommend getting, in my opinion. So that's kind of what I would buy in the golden this week. As with my videos, if you do like what I do with these, then do let me know by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing. That really, really helps. And as always, a huge thank you to everyone at Patreon. If you want to support myself there, there's details down below. The last thing I want to do is just go to the Infinite Archive. This is located in Apocrypha. So you have to go to the out of the map to Oribus, then go to Apocrypha, and it's up here. In the Infinite Archive, there is also a weekly trader that comes from Tuesday to Tuesday. So I kind of show this on the Saturday, in the same video because it's easier. And here you can buy leads with the currency, and the leads can be for some good mythics. Not always, but we always check them. When you get into the Infinite Archive, you have to go to the back of the place, so go all the way east. And there's a trader right at the back, Philaul, I think it's pronounced. And here he sells essentially things you can buy. So you got the Tome of the Manuscript. This one's normally for a kind of piece of furniture. And then the last one is for a mythic item. If you're ever unsure what it is, just do double check and go onto Google and type in Singer Steel Clasp. This is from the belt, the left-handed Aegis belt, I think it's called, and it's the one that is awful. So don't get this. It's basically the takeaway from today. But yeah, if you're ever unsure, just double check. Sometimes you can get items from here and the leads that are really hard to get. So I think 3 or 4 weeks ago they had the Gazer Sithis helmet and they had the lead from the Dark Brotherhood quest. So that was really good. Now, I'm going to call the video here. So I just want to say a massive thanks to all the support. If you like what I do here, then like, comment, share and subscribe. And as always, a huge thanks to everyone at Patreon who get early access, exclusive content and much more. If you want to support myself there, there's details down below. But as always, I'll catch you in the next video. So take care, thanks for watching, and bye!